Yo, what up, my beautiful dowdies? How's everyone doing today? I'm your host, Fao. Let's talk about Tingyun. Will Tingyun ever fall off in this meta that we have in Honkai Star Rail? Will she ever be a bad character, or will she ever be benched? I think a lot of people can vouch for Tingyun as being a very special character and one of the better harmony units in the game. Even though she's a 4-star, she's a very unique playstyle because she's a battery. You know, she makes sure that your main DPS gets ult uptime and can do more consistent damage because of it. And she's a lot of key components in a lot of teams. If you take a look at a few, Jingliu, for instance, she can be very good to make sure that Jingliu never leaves her enhanced state. Clara already did. Clara gets ult uptime. Faster uses her ult, the better her follow-up attacks. Danheng as well. The more he ult, the more damage and the more skills for SP-friendly turns. Zayla wants to have ult all the time, and she has a very low cost to begin with. So with Tingyun, you can have a lot of ultimates together. Argenti, of course. Argenti is one of the more frustrating units to try to get a consistent ult uptime on because of how he works, of course, how his kit works. Without Tingyun, Argenti would be a very, very hard character to play. Even Jingyun can seem some play, you know. So a lot of the times, Tingyun actually enables a lot of compositions or really helps out a lot of DPSs in the game. If we look at the state of the game right now, I would even say that Tingyun is probably like maybe a more valuable unit to have right now than, let's say, a Bronya. Bronya took a very big fall because of all the other harmony characters in the game and how they function, but no one has come to Tingyun's value yet. Maybe other harmony characters are way better, you know, Robin, Sparkle, and Ranmei, of course. Those three maybe have an overall stronger kit and provide more value. However, they don't do what Tingyun does. Tingyun really is a battery. Not a single other harmony character or single unit in the game really does what Tingyun does. We of course have Ho-Ho and Hanya. They have energy capabilities. So if we take the Argenti comp again, people that really want Argenti to have the most ult uptime probably most of the time play Tingyun, Hanya, and then Ho-Ho, right? With those three together, Argenti can have the most fluent, full charged ult uptime. If you take Tingyun away from that, then the most important piece and the most consistent damage is going to be gone instantly. And Tingyun sees a lot of play still, and Tingyun will see a lot of play to the end of time. Because any other upcoming DPS that needs energy or just wants more ult uptime or wants more consistent damage, whatever it is, Tingyun will fill that role and will be very valuable. Now, however, there might be a day where we actually get that 5-star Tingyun version. Not necessarily saying that it will actually be Tingyun, but just a limited 5-star character with energy capabilities, you know, like with battery capabilities. When that day comes, I still think that Tingyun will be valuable. Let me explain why. Whatever that unit is going to do, and I personally think if there's going to be an energy regen character, it's probably going to be like a Tingyun, but then with multiple characters in the team. Or a certain amount of percentage for the whole party. You know, something with more characters or more energy. Let's take Argenti again for an example. Argenti has one of the more higher costs in the game, and getting his ult uptime is crucial for having the most consistent damage. Let's say there's a new 5-star limited character that buffs the entire party's energy regen. Let's say you put that character in the team and Argenti is going to have a way better time, but why would you not put that character plus Tingyun in the team? You have 2 battery characters that can make 1 DPS or a specific character have instant or permanent ult, you know? That's why I'm also starting to think whenever that energy or battery character comes out, it's going to be very hard for them to balance it because Tingyun exists. And if you have Tingyun plus that other limited 5-star character and then let's say a Ho-Ho, you have so much ult charge, it's so strong and it's going to be insanely powerful for this hyper carry in your team. You cannot balance that in a very good way because Tingyun is always going to be paired up with this specific character. You cannot really go around it, right? If you have an E6 Tingyun and you have that limited 5-star character, you just pair them and then whatever happens with the energy for the main DPS, they all have permanent ult uptime. Now, if this new limited 5-star is so strong that you would not need Tingyun, then it becomes a different ballgame, right? Then we really have to start thinking, okay, then it's gonna be a case where you just start to bench Tingyun because the other character takes Tingyun's place. However, I don't really see a world where that ever would happen. If you really are that strong of a character where you would not put Tingyun in the same team for more ult uptime, then that character would be insanely game breaking, and I don't think that would be in the game to begin with. If you take Ho-Ho's ability that gives a party buff energy regen or gives some energy to the whole party, except Ho-Ho, of course, you can already see how little that is. It still has a lot of effect, but it's not like everyone all of a sudden gets full ult charge, you know? If that would happen, that the limited 5-star energy or battery character would give everyone, doesn't matter how low they are, they would just fully charge their ultimates, still then, why would you not put Tingyun on the field? You would just activate the ability that everyone gets their ult. You would ult on everyone. Then you would do Tingyun at the end to give the main DPS another ult charge. You start building it again. And then when the other character can ult again, use that ability again to fully charge the ultimate again. So you constantly have a full energy bar. And if there's going to be a character that really batteries or whatever it is, better than Tingyun does, I don't see a world where you would not pair them together. I think battery or ult uptime is so extremely valuable in this game that I think Tingyun is going to be played or very strong to the end of time. Now, they could prove me wrong, of course. However, could have something up their sleeves where you actually would not need a Tingyun anymore. That day might come, and that is still a possibility. But I do wonder how that kit or what the capabilities are from this character if you actually could bench Tingyun and never have to use her again. That is something very interesting, because if you have an ability that constantly gives the main DPS the ult no matter how big the charge is, you know, you can start to play around with that a little bit, because if you build that character correctly or get enough ult uptime for that character, then you might not need Tingyun because you just permanently have ult anyway. But it is weird to say, right? Because if you have a 5-star support battery, you can maybe even do some shenanigans that Tingyun gives her ult charge to the support, and then the support buffs everyone else ultimates again, and then Tingyun has her ult again, and then you know, like, I don't see a world where Tingyun would lose here. But we do have different mechanics in the game. Let's say we have another mechanic with Acheron, you know. Acheron doesn't use energy. If we would go to a way where Tingyun would not synergize maybe with this specific character because there's no ult uptime in general, then Tingyun starts to fall off, or there's no room for Tingyun. But people already did this strategy with Robin. When Robin came out...
Hey, pause the video right now. Over 90% of you people that watch my videos actually are not subscribed to my channel. It would mean a lot to me if you would actually consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind after. Let's continue with the video.
Robin has a pretty big ult charge. Tingyun, people would actually use their ult on Tingyun, because the damage bonus would still apply on Robin, and with Robin boosting the follow-up attack and putting her own little percentage physical thing on top of it, that would actually get buffed by Tingyun. So you would not really lose out damage, and you would get ult uptime for Robin, you know? This is kind of the same idea I would have with the quote-unquote limited 5-star battery that we would have in the game. So there's a lot of ways to think, or a lot of possibilities where Tingyun would never ever be a bad character. Now, I do think she would be a bad character if you would get 2 battery units in the team, you know? Or 2 kind of harmony type units where Tingyun is just literally 4-star, and then we have 2 5-star versions. If that day comes, then Tingyun is going to start to fall off. But energy is such a big thing in the game. It is very hard to power creep such a valuable thing. And of course, we don't know if that day will ever come. And if that day comes, when, right? It could be 2 years from now when we start to see a character that actually does something like that. Or it could be next patch. You know, we don't know when that character would be there, but if that character would be there, I don't see Tingyun falling off. Let me know what you guys think though. If you guys think that Tingyun will ever fall off with how her kit works, if that 5-star limited battery character would be there, that if Tingyun would instantly be bad, or if she's still going to be played, or even that Tingyun might become even better because now she can be paired up with this character. No, there's a lot of room here for speculation with Tingyun. And if we actually talk about the 5-star version of Tingyun, because spoiler alert, Tingyun died, and the Tingyun that we know was not the real one. And I do think if we would actually get a 5-star Tingyun version, that version would not be like the Tingyun that we know at all. And I also don't think that this Tingyun is going to be any type of support, you know? I do think that the 5-star version of Tingyun, if you would get one, that's probably going to be some sort of DPS, or maybe even a preservation or abundance character, you know? We don't know. I don't think that they're going to make the actual Tingyun a harmony character, but we don't know, because we do see that March 7 gets new forms. We know that Donheng got a completely new form, and Donheng still was a DPS, you know? So maybe the 5-star Tingyun will actually be the 5-star battery character. It would be really funny to see 2 Tingyuns in one team though. There's a lot of possibilities here, a lot of speculation, and a lot of team building capabilities. Because yet again, Argenti is in need of a very good support that does bring him up to the next level. Argenti is a little bit in a weird spot, and because of how his kit works, right? It doesn't mean that Argenti is bad. His banner right now is terrible. You know, we've talked about many times in previous videos already. I told you many times that Argenti right now is a bait. But if there would be a battery character that would completely change up the meta all of a sudden. All the other characters that would want ult uptime become stronger and better. More characters like Jingliu again, same thing with her enhanced state. If she can be permanently in the enhanced state, Jingliu is such a cool character because she doesn't use any SP and she would do way more damage the whole time. So imagine again Tingyun plus the other character, right? I think that is going to be the strongest setup here. If there's two battery units in the game, why not pair them together? And while you're at it, throw the Ho-Oh in there as well, right? You're going to have so much ult uptime, and that's probably going to be a strategy. And I think that's also very healthy for the game, right? You have different types of strategies, different types of ways to clear certain content. And if you would have 3 very high energy characters in your team, then whatever unit you put with that, which is going to be very good, because that character would just have permanent ult uptime, you know? I don't think Tingyun is going to lose anytime soon. And if you haven't built your Tingyun yet, I highly recommend building your Tingyun, especially if she's like with Eidolons. She's extremely valuable. She can do a lot of cool things. One thing that I really like about Tingyun is that when you actually use her before the battle, when you use her technique, she gives herself ultimate charge, and you can always enter battle with a full ult charge. And if you would have a light cone like Dance Dance Dance, that would bring the whole party back up, you know? So Tingyun has so much value to her kit and such a unique playstyle that it's very hard to power creep that. And if she gets power creeped, you could just pair her up again with that other character. It's very interesting to see how this is going to unravel. And I would love to hear you guys' takes on this, on how this is going to be in the future. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions also about what could the 5-star battery character actually do, you know? Because there's a lot of thinking and a lot of kit design there, right? There's a lot of possibilities or a lot of different ways to make a 5-star battery character. Let me know in the comments down below how you would like it or what you would think is a very good battery unit / support. I'd love to hear you guys' takes on this. Hey, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Means the world to me if you could do that. Make sure to join the Discord. We're trying to grow the community even further. And if you want to support the channel even further, then become a member. I love you all, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Take care. Peace.